All right. Welcome back, friend. Another week, more Haskell hacking. Hope you have a good one. Enjoying the change in weather in the northern hemisphere here. And we got this cool project to work on. Adventure Engine. Last week, we got the wind condition kind of working. Right. So this week, we're going to get the wind screen, the end screen going. And then we can probably start looking into a couple of other smaller issues if we wrap that up tonight. And things like that. So let's get to it. I'm going to open up, let's see, engine. Yeah. So the game end state is, how do we put it in rewards? Yeah. So is the game, the check for game end. We called it a game end reward. Maybe not the right name for that. Maybe game end screen or something like that. That'd be more appropriate. I gotta adjust the levels here. You probably can't hear what I'm saying. Hopefully that's better. Let me know, chat, if the levels work better. So yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, anyways, Adventure Engine, welcome back. Last week we did work on the end game state, so detecting the end game via these game end reward types and the reward system. So the author should be able to now define game end things, and we can detect that in the game loop and show the appropriate game end screen that the author can customize with this game end text. So the game end happens when one of these end rewards detects the last event in the event log to match this one. So that might be like an item dropped in a particular place. That could be anything, any one of the events you can match on. Maybe enter the right room. I think in our demo, sort of like test world, right, we have one of these defined. And where to go? Bop default world. Oh, maybe we don't. Oh, I think we did. We were testing with it, weren't we? Oh, because it's not in the world, it's in the game state, right? There we are, game end reward. Bye-bye. So when we dig with the shovel in this room, then we get the woohoo text for the end screen. We should probably define what the end screen looks like UI-wise and implement that. I think that's probably what we're going to do. I'm going to set my build watcher here. Fast file watch. I'm not in the right directory, of course. There we go. And let's go over here. Okay, cool. So the UI, let's pull up the GUI. Here we are. Build UI. Right now, we just have the build UI check the game state. If it is the game end flag has been flipped, then we just display this H stack, this horrible horizontal stack with a single label in it, U1. We probably want something different there. I'm thinking we should have like an end game title, the score, and then some descriptive text. And that's what it should display, and that's what the user should be able to customize. So I need to replace this string with a thing in the game end reward. We'll put like game and title. And of course we got a couple of pattern matches there, so we'll go to 10. Okay, and then we got to define it in the engine. U1. Woohoo. And then we can remove this. Yeah. So actually, how to display that text is the next thing, probably. Game state. Let's look at you, friend. You have the non-empty list of game end rewards. The check just flips the Boolean to the game state end, and we don't know which of the set of game end rewards has been matched at this point when we're building the UI. So we probably need to have is game end not just a Boolean, but a maybe with the extra data about which game end reward was triggered. All right, so the default state should be nothing, no game end yet, it's not game end yet, but if it is just, then it is some game end reward that we should display. I think that makes some kind of sense. Let's fix those type errors. Nothing. I think that should be it, no? That might be in rewards. Nope, engine. Oh, it's just above. There we are. Okay, so set game end to just something. Now this is going to be interesting as well. Set game end is called when we get just game over. Aha, for check game end. And when we check the game end, we look in the game state for the last event in the game state log. We pass it to the game end function. That function is in rewards game end, which returns a maybe text. So instead of a maybe text, we're going to return the maybe game and reward. Okay, and not just the game end text. But we're going to find that actual game end reward. And we don't need to wrap that in just anymore, I don't think. Oh, maybe we do. We just need to get rid of the game end text function. Yeah. Okay, that looks good. So then set game end is now kind of complaining because it's not just a Boolean anymore. And we don't need to ignore this. This could be a game end reward. And we set it here, game and reward. Now, when we check for that in the UI, we're getting the error there, I believe. Yeah. So now it's not a Boolean anymore. We have to check if it is just, or case match on it. Case matching would probably be more appropriate, I think. Case game state is game end of model. Nothing. We'll do the... We'll do a nothing case first. That makes most sense, reading-wise. Get rid of this, and get rid of this. Then just render the widget tree, the normal widget tree. Otherwise, we have a game end. And we should have an H stack. We can put a label in it with the... Let's pull up pattern match out the text. Why not, right? Game end reward. Don't need the first thing. Just the game end title and paragraph. End text. End text. Yeah. We'll just ignore that for now. Just put it there. I just want to see the title there and that, because whatever. And that should compile, and when we restart this and try it again, it should act just as like it did before. All right, I'm not expecting it to be any different behavior-wise. We pick up the shovel. Cool. We dig, and we get the game over screen. It should say you won. Perfect. The only difference now we have in scope, not just the title, but the end text as well, so we can display some more data. Probably the score as well. Okay, so in that case, how do we want to render this? Let's checkpoint here. We'll check our diff. Yeah, okay, so let's check that in. That looks pretty good. We add, add game end reward to game state is end. Hopefully that makes sense to future me. We pass in the matching game end reward to the just case. Now we pass in just matching game end reward. This enables us to render the game end screen with the author's text. Cool. Okay, so let's see. Maybe let's make it a VStack. I have a label title. And let's get an H bar going across there. How do I do that again? Separator line. That's what I want. And then another label with the game end text. Oops, wait, there we go. Game and text. Let's try it and see what it looks like. Boom, pick up the shovel. And now when we render this, we should see, woohoo, U1. Let's get that text centered. Move that over to the left a little bit. So we can see it. What's going on? Okay, how do I center stuff? Did I figure it out before? Padding left, padding right. Text center. Okay. In the attributes or whatever you want to call it. Oh, is that, did I spell it differently? Text center. Or is that a local binding? Text center. Yeah. What's wrong with that? Oh, okay. No instance for CMV text center. Label config app event, etc. Okay, I was putting in the wrong thing maybe? Oh, okay. I guess we had to use the style basic thing here. It's been a while. Sorry. Sorry, Monomer. It's all good. We'll get back into it. We'll get it. Text center. Style basic. That should do it. That should be doing it. That should be good. That'll compile. Boom. Okay. Perfect. Pick up the shovel. Dig. You won. Woohoo. Okay. So now, what do we need to do and to make this end screen useful? We can either keep continuing to take input from the user, or we can just respond to a key event that just quits the game. You're done now. Right, because otherwise there's no input there. Yeah, I don't know. Why don't we make it just quit the game? Okay, so then we need to we need to render this with a keystroke widget. I'll do that. Keystroke, keystroke, keystroke. And keystroke takes a pair. Make it enter. And an event. What event should we put there? Okay, app input received has a quit. Yeah. I mean, maybe we can make it like a special kind of event, because maybe we want to make one last save of the game state or something for the user. So if they want to like bring up the file again or something, they could. But we'll just make it an alias for now for quit. We'll just call it app quit. We'll stick it in that hole, app quit. And that's good. Then we have to probably handle it somewhere. Down here. Exit application for now. Cool. So I play the game, I pick up the shovel, I dig, and I win the game. Cool, I got my end text, I press enter, game quits. Super. Okay. Let's look at that. Pretty straightforward. Very bare bones, but should be good enough to get the idea across. You can make it better from there. Okay, add end game screen widget. The end game screen can be customized with a title and text from the game and reward. The user can, it responds to the enter key by quitting the application. Sweet. Okay. So now that we got that, what else can we do, fam? What else can we do? Let's go to our to-do file. Mark it off. Done. Okay. We got a couple of game engine related fixes we should probably do. Yeah, let's do that. We want to add item dropped. We want to add the room that the item was dropped in to the event. That's a good one. Sorry, that's in rewards. Yes. Item dropped, entity ID room. Let's see if anybody's using that code yet. Oh, looks like it. Which module is using it? Yeah, it should be this one. Maybe my editor just hasn't picked up on it yet. Okay, so we need the room ID here. Do we have it in scope? We have rooms. Wait, what? Where did I put the room here? All right, so rooms, rooms. We adjust the rooms map with the add object function. Okay, that's how we're doing it. Now that's tricky now, because now we need to get the room ID back. But we have the handle drop presumably happens in the same room the player is currently in. So we do have the world player room, the player pause in scope, which we can use. That's right. That seems reasonable. Perfect. Okay. Add the room ID to the item dropped event. Boom. That one's done. Do the same for pickup. Okay, and handle pickup. Where we do that and emit that event. There we go. Item picked up. Player room is what we call it here. A little bit of consistency on this. But that should go there. And 417. Right, so now when you're authoring item picked up and matching in the event reward, you got to specify the room that this happens in. Yeah, item picked up. This is supposed to be, it's entity ID one. I think that's the, whatever. Oh, item picked up, entity ID one. Where's my world database here that we got so far? as the shovel, right? And it's in room 0. Okay, cool. Zero. Perfect. Yeah, I don't think we need to really test too much. It probably just works, right? Shovel, pick it up, score of 10. Yeah, we're good. Dig, woohoo. We won. Yay. Okay, fix that one as well. Boom. Add room ID to item picked up event. Booyah. Done that one. We want to add a new event, door unlocked. Let's do it. This is like a good time to like see if the code I've written for this engine is working for me here, you know? Going back and using your code or trying to update it and add new stuff to it. Is it frustrating to do? Is it fine? You start to see it as you get onto a bigger project. Okay. Yeah. Pithy observation of the day. Aphorism of the day. There you go. Item... sorry, door unlocked. Door unlocked. Probably want the entity ID of the exit, which is the door. The entity ID. What else? The item used. No, because I mean, there's only the door will specify what item is required to unlock it. So all the information we need when we unlock the door is what door it was, I think. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. So we'll just record the exit in the event log. Which also probably means that we do have container unlocked. Good, good. Oh, right. We did container unlocked. Okay. Yeah, so we should probably have some consistency with the events here, actually. We have container unlocked, where we do record what the player did try to use to unlock the item. Whether it was successful or not is implied by the event, right? And I guess, like, maybe in retrospect, it doesn't really need to record the item that was used when it was unlocked, but it does when it was failed. So maybe we do want to just have that on there for reasons. Maybe we just want to, yeah. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to consider maybe getting rid of that too. And just, I mean, leave container unlocked, but getting rid of the item that was used. Because that's specified on the container lock. Okay. Comment on that type really make it any more clear what it's for? Not really. I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Okay. Famous last words, I know. Cool. So that's door unlocked. Let's go add it to the engine now. So when we handle unlocking the door, that should be in. Hmm. I know it's in the object interaction code when we do it with the container lock. Let's dig object interaction. Object item under container. Yeah. So I think the door unlock is still happening the old school way. When we walk. Yeah. Unlock door. Okay, so we do flip the lock state of the lock object there on that exit. Cool, cool. And this is where we do it. So it's using the new lock stuff. Looks like. So we just need to emit the event then when we use unlock door. Cool. So as a final step, or maybe even before you can do it, emit event, door unlocked, and we need the exit ID. Right, see the same ID that was passed into the command unlock door. Now in the past tense, the door is unlocked, so we emit the event door unlocked. Do the thing, it is done. Cool. And now we should be able to like put a score on that. So when you unlock a door successfully, you should be able to like write a reward for that. Let's do that though, just to mess around with it. Let's make this one here. Where's our world? Front porch, shovel, front door. Yes, default world. Okay. No, game state, sorry. It's in the default game state. Default game state. There we are. So event reward. Let's add. We can just add it to the end. The event reward. Door unlocked. And the entity ID of the exit that we have a lock on is the front door. So I'm just going to put a hole there, and we'll make the amount 4. The front door. Front door inside, front door outside. Those are the ones. Oh, do we not have? Did I not make a database with IDs for the exits? Uh-oh. That would be a very bad thing. It's something we'd have to fix. Looks like I might have overlooked that a little bit. No, there is world exits map. Okay. That's in world though. Okay. There, okay, yeah. So it's entity ID 3. Hmm. I'm thinking there might be a better structure now for exits. Because, like, the exit, they come in pairs, right? Or at least two-way exits do. There could be such a thing as one-way exits, I guess. Hmm. Something to think about. So we're going to write it so that the reward is from the door outside, because it's technically locked. You can't go through this exit until you unlock it. We'll do that there. Okay. Now that should compile, and then when we run the game, we pick up the shovel, and the shovel is what's required to move through the front door in our demo world. That should unlock it by walking through the front door with the shovel in our inventory. So we should get the 10 points for picking up the shovel, and we should get 4 points for walking through the front door. And we get 14. All right, if we walk through it again, through the door, and we walk through the front door again, it should only count the reward the first time, as it does. Drop the shovel, and then we walk through the door. Walk through the front door. It doesn't match anymore, of course, so that shouldn't work. And we're still at 14 in our score, so that looks pretty good. All right, sweet. Let's commit that and just review it quickly. So we add the event reward there to test it out. We emit the event there when we unlock a door. And we just record the exit ID. Okay. That looks good. Add door unlocked event. We record the event after calling the unlock door command. Done. Okay, to do. What else? Just burning through these tonight. Little ones, but nice ones. I like it when there's nice little easy ones and short and fast. To balance out the long, hard ones and the refactors that we've been doing lately. Okay, let's see. What else do we need to do? Some UI work on text reflowing. It's a kind of a nice to have, just like developer experience wise. Not super necessary. We do have to get rid of the hard-coded map data and game objects for sure. Save all versioning is useful, but later. Clean up and nicer stuff. Not sure if that's even relevant anymore. Yeah, it's going to be a later thing. Nice to have thing. Okay, yeah, so... Ooh, should we get started on the authoring tools, chat? Should we get started on that? Start doing, moving the hard-coded map data and game objects out. That's probably the next big project. Okay. Yeah, why not? Right? Okay, so let's try that. Let's get to work on that. What do we want to do with this is, let's go to the GUI. Not that GUI, but the other GUI. This one. Or we start the game. So when we start the game, we set up this is all just the save game handling code. Like we ensure the save game directories are there. We set up the initial game state. Now our initial game state here is hard-coded, right, from the engine. Initial game state. Wrong file. Okay. We set it up. Basically, we run a render of the default world, and we return the default game state with the initial rendered scene here. What we need to do now, I think, as a first step, is load our world definition. Instead of using default world, we should have something load that data in and pass it into initial game state. So as a start, let's pull that out to up here. Okay, that's going to give us compiler errors. Right, because the initial state here is what's returned by this, but now we're missing a parameter. We have to pass something in here, which we need a world. Where are we going to get the world from? Well, we got to get it from, we can get it from a flat file, right? We could just say, like, if you construct a JSON file like this, we already know how to serialize the world and deserialize the world, so we could just do that as a first pass. That's over here. Pardon my voice a little bit. I've been getting over a cold. My voice isn't quite back yet, 100%. It's a little wavery. But yeah, I think we do have to JSON from JSON here. So we could parse out the world object just from a JSON file as a first pass, just loading the room from a file, the world from a file, and then setting the initial game state. That might, as long as it's one-to-one with what we've hard-coded so far, that would work. The other piece of this is going to be the actual, like, initial game state that we use. Sorry, the default game state, which we also have to load data from the author into as well. The event rewards, the endgame rewards. Looks like the rest we can just kind of pulse out, and we have to get rid of default world, but that's always kind of replaced already. Oh no, it isn't. Okay, so we got to pass in the world to here as well. So let's do that. Here, you take a parameter now. We might have to do it like that, maybe. No, that's not the right operator. Maybe if we put this in parentheses, it'll work. With the record update syntax still? Yeah, okay. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Okay, so that sets us up there to be able to pass in that world. And if we jump over to here, we can load the game. Let's just do the simplest, dumbest thing possible right now and just load a file, like something relative to where the binary started for now, and then we'll get into path handling at a different point. Load world. And that'll just be some IO action that loads the file, it parses it, and returns a world object, which we'll pass into here. So we have to define a load world. It's an IO turning a game, a world. All right, we're going to read in the file contents. So read file, let's call it world.json. And once we have the contents, that was that going to be a string? Yeah. So from JSON, a string I think should work, maybe? I don't know. We might have to look at data.ason here. If otherwise, we'll just have to convert to a byte string or something, which won't be a problem. No, from JSON? No, it's decode. Yeah, it wants byte strings. That's fine. Oh, we could decode file strict directly. Nice. Okay, so we can decode file strict directly. Thank you, ason. It's going to return a maybe. Which we could just like throw an exception on. Like if we can't read the world file, we can't start the game. They might want a better user experience for that. Like maybe we want to display some kind of generic like message to the user instead of just some like, oh, I crashed, you know, like something like that. But maybe like an empty world state with like a single error message in it saying like, I can't do anything with like no verbs except for like quit, something like that. But as a first pass, let's just make it do that. Decode. All right, let's just make it throw an exception. File strict. And that takes the path. So let's just world.json. And we'll case match on that. Case W of nothing. It wasn't found, couldn't be read, whatever. Let's just error. Cannot read world.json. And I'll leave myself a little to-do to fix that up. And we'll just say add better error experience user. Okay, and then the just case, we have the file. And we could just return that. Not the cleanest function, but it works, hopefully. We just don't have decode file strict prime in scope. Data.ason it's imported from. Oh, we probably just don't have it. Okay, no problem. Or data.ason. Call it ason. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. I've heard people say eson. Maybe that's the right one. I've been saying ason for years. I'm sorry if that's not the right way to say it. Okay. So if we start this up now, this should error out. Right. World.json does not exist. So let's just create our little world.json. Let's fabricate it. It's over an engine that we want all of our stuff in. Let's put in our root here. We call it world. We called it world.json. All right, we're gonna have rooms, and we're gonna have objects, and we're gonna have exits. Actually, I think those are gonna be objects. Comme ça. And we have player room. Yeah, something maybe 0. And then we have player inventory. Already kind of thinking maybe we want to change that. Player verbs. I don't know, maybe that as well. No, this is, sorry, this is the author JSON, those save files, that's fine. Expected. Okay, so if we try and load this file and run our game, like, the game should start up, but, like, not be good. Cannot read world.json. Okay, but we're rebuilt here. Okay, cool. So decode JSON, our decode function's not working, probably. Our path here. Let us put it somewhere. Projects, hopefully this will work. I don't know what the current working directory of the binary is when it's run here by stack. Okay, binary file does not exist. Or did I type it wrong? .json. .json. Let's maybe give the full path. I know it's clearly there. Oh, I did mistype that. Silly. Okay, so now it just might not be able to read it. Maybe we're getting a parse thing. So the file exists. And world, sorry, engine world. Let's look at that. Oh, player inventory is an object. Okay. And verb alias map is a list. Yeah, so that should be good. Let's see if we can parse it now. Why can't you do it? Okay, we're gonna have to do a little bit more interactive debugging here. Okay. Decode file or import data.ason. Decode file script. Projects, adventure engine, world.json. And let's use type applications just to, so it knows it's supposed to be a world. I did mean to enable that, yes. So we do that with set x type applications. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't like the relative paths. We know that. Should have been smarter about that. Okay, so it says nothing. So it can decode it. No, sorry, it's not. It's not decoding it. It's returning nothing. Okay, so it's valid JSON and it's returning nothing. Why is that? What's our default world, right? To JSON, default world. Okay, can we, oh, maybe we should serialize this just straight out into the file. That would be nice. Is there encode to file? Encode file. Sweet. Encode file. We will do it to here. Adventure projects. Adventure engine. And world.json. Default world. Boom. Smart. For some reason it doesn't want to pretty print it. Okay, but can we decode it? We do, okay. All right, so that should work now. There we go. Sweet. Okay, see, first pass. All right, smallest thing that worked. Yeah, creative using ASON to, good call, good call. I like that if we found that. I like that that function exists. That was very handy. So yeah, so we decoded the all this data. We can just delete it. The default world. Because we can load it from the JSON file now. Of course, we're going to want to keep probably that JSON file in our source tree somewhere for testing and development purposes, but yeah. Now part one, baby steps. So the front porch gone, the main hall gone, the shovel, the purse, bucket, coin, fire, lock, fire, outside, door inside, default world, Gadoosh. Was anything else referencing that? I hope not. Should be good. And it is. First try. Boom. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so what do we want to do with that data file? I think we're going to put it in a directory in the repo at data. And we'll move world.json to data. Okay. Oops, no, not that. GUI. For some reason, put load world in the GUI code. Okay, so we should probably get rid of this hard-coded file path if we can. I don't know if we could just do it like this. If Stack will be happy with that. Seems so. Yeah, okay, cool. Well, that's fine, that's good. And we should probably like make, use hard-coded slashes in there and be good citizens. I don't know if dot is cross-platform, like dot slash, actually. Is that the same thing? I don't know if Windows will be happy with that either. But I haven't really been concerning myself with Windows just yet. That looks like it should be fine, so let's do that and that. Put some angle brackets around you. And that should be good there. Except that. Okay, cool. Let's review. I got rid of all of those hard-coded rooms and stuff. And the default game world. We changed game state so that it takes a world as a parameter when constructing the initial game state, as well as the initial game state function itself becomes a function, which initializes by rendering the initial scene and sets up the game state, basically. So it looks good. And then load world. I don't like that it's in the GUI codes. I should probably move that. But start is unfortunate. It's there. We could probably like restructure things to move that around to a different place, but it's so inconsequential That's probably fine. So let's move load world to the engine. Maybe, I don't know, maybe there. I don't know why. I just feel like I want to put it there. Decode file strict is not in scope, so we need data.ason in here. Oh, I see. Your reasons, we have a explicit import list. Okay, now rebuilds again, so that should be good. What's this? Binding world shadows existing binding. Okay. Okay, I'll just call it world prime then. Okay, that's all clean now. Let's just review one more time. We could probably get rid of that. So GUI should just have the load world and pattern match on the result of that. Okay. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Ish. Not perfect. Okay. It's okay. So stage those changes and make a commit. Okay, add load world. To game to start. Add load world. No, we'll just describe what the reason for this. So we're the first step to loading a game. Load world. Yeah, means the parses a world value from a JSON file, hard coded for now to be data slash world.json from the current working directory. And now remove the hard-coded test world from the engine. Cool. Let's see, 925, not bad. A little bit of time. Oh, we probably should have added add data slash world.json. I'll just rebase that quickly. Perfect. Okay. See, just okay. Not perfect, just okay. Okay, so that's the first part, first step of the story. What else do we need to do? Well, we need to load the game state stuff, the initial game state things. Yeah. Well, we do know we need to load the rewards and game end rewards. But everything else is not really needed because we get the world from somewhere else. Scenes needs to be initialized to empty. And this parser and serializer are kind of like our hacky game state loading stuff. So we don't want to mess with it and use it directly. And eventually you should probably have like better, like more dedicated routines to this. But it's good enough. So what we're gonna do, I think, is we could have a new type to hold those things that we could use to parse a JSON file with. Actually, yeah. Now I'm thinking maybe we want to like do this with a SQLite file. That could be fun. Um, that way we kind of get like one file in the file system, and within it we can query to get all the data we need from different parts of the file, no problem. And I think SQLite supports JSON. So we could even stuff the world.json definition just into a single row. Or we could have separate tables for different parts of the world. And that might make writing the authoring tool a little more straightforward. That could be a win. Let's just check on that. I haven't checked. I did a little bit of checking out of SQLite a while ago because I was looking into the write-ahead log on it. I didn't know that existed, and some project came out that used it, and I thought, well, I did a project like that for Postgres. Maybe we could do something like that too at some point and add it to SQLite. So SQLite, if you don't know, is like a single file database system, kind of like a library in a format, built to be self-contained and pretty full-featured for a database, like a SQL-style database. I just want to know if it has JSON support. That's looking pretty good. It looks like it does, yeah. Neat. Okay, cool. And look, very similar to Postgres's API for working with JSON objects too. Patch, remove, type. Oh, cool. That could be pretty cool. All right. I don't know if we need to really do that right this second, but we could set it up in such a way that we could code towards that, I think. So if I wanted to get, for example, the game state rewards or the game rewards, we could have a function that gets a list of those. And how it gets it could be a file for now, like with decode file strict prime. And later it could be a database action over a SQLite database. So let's add one. Let's add a function like load game rewards. Just an IO list of game reward. And we could leave that extension point even more, make that just a little bit more obvious by coding it like this. All right, so M right now is purely monad IO, but we could say that could indicate to ourselves later that like maybe this will be a SQLite T type thing. Game reward's probably not the right thing. Event reward. Yeah, sorry, event reward. Boop. The start of initializing. Sorry, load the event reward defined by the author for initializing the game engine state. Okay. All right, so for now, let's just load it from a file. Let's call it game event rewards .json. And maybe that'll be M rewards. M for maybe. You could even just write it out, maybe. Again. There might, yeah. So we'll just throw error here. Cannot read event rewards. .json. Otherwise, we get them. And we return them. Oh, and the problem with this is... Okay, so because we're not running directly in IO, it doesn't know it specifically. So to run IO actions in monad IO, we need just a little function to lift that IO action into our monad here, which is called pleasantly and easily enough, lift IO. I believe that should do it. Cool. And that should load the game event, the game rewards. Cool. All right, so now we can go to the GUI. Event rewards. Load event rewards. Pass it in. And we're going to have to update initial game state like we did at the beginning when we were preparing things. Event rewards, and pull this over to the left a little bit. Game event rewards equals event rewards. Game state. Oh, sorry, just game state rewards. Yes, GHC, that's what I meant. Sorry. Thank you. Such a pal, the compiler, you know? What a friend. Okay. Oh, of course, because we're using Monad IO, it doesn't know that load event rewards is in IO. Or no, it's just not in scope. Okay, sorry. Might be getting ahead of myself. Maybe it'll be fine. Is that because I don't have an explicit export list here, do I? Oh, maybe I do. No, I export adventure.engine. What's going on there? Am I importing things explicitly? Or did I name things wrong? Yeah, I did. I forgot to name it event rewards. There we go. Silly me. Okay, cool. So that worked. Well, at least it compiled. It's not working yet. So let's similarly add data, a event rewards file. Let's use the trick we did before with the REPL. Well, it might be too late now, but I could probably copy paste it out. Default game state. So this list here. Encode file. Adventure engine. Data event rewards.json. This thing. Try that again. It's probably just the new lines here. When pasting it over, parse error, why parse error? Okay, well, maybe I can take this, assign it to a variable. $62. That's a parse error? Event reward, item picked up. ID 2, 10, event reward. Maybe this needs... Oh, okay, there we go. And then we can pass in ours here, like that's... There we go. Sweet. Just make sure it rebuilt. Okay. And then when we run this, we should get the same behavior as before. When we pick up the shovel, we get the 10 points. Right? We walk through the front door with the shovel and unlock it. We should get the 4. Nice. Okay, so we're loading the event rewards from a file now. That's pretty cool. Okay, we're running at the end of the stream here, so let's just get this all... Let's get this checked in. Bang, bang, bang. Let's do a little quick review. Yeah, that's just the data file. So now we move those event rewards out of the initial game state, passing it as a parameter to initial game state, which we set. We have a load event rewards function that loads events from the file. And add it to the initialization thing that's starting to grow here in this start function, which we're going to clean up probably at some point once the pattern starts to emerge. And maybe investigate loading this data from, like I was saying, from a SQLite file. But that looks good. So let's commit that. Add load event rewards. This action loads the authored event reward values from a JSON file. Data/event rewards.json. Nothing wrong with flat files for now. All good. Okay, cool. And let's push this all up. Okay, so if you don't know and you're just following along for the first time, the code for this project that we've been working on tonight is at GitHub. Agent Ultra, that's me. Adventure Engine. There it is. Agent Ultra / adventure engine. You can follow along, watch, whatever you like to do. Check it out anonymously or anonymous, I don't know, whatever. The code's here. So if you want to check it out and what we worked on tonight, there you go. Of course, you can also follow me for now on Twitter, but the better way to do it going forward is probably at types.pl. I'm at Agent Ultra at types.pl. This is a Mastodon instance in the Fediverse. I follow some Homestar Runner bots, and you can too if you're on the Fediverse. This is where I'm mostly hanging out these days, but Twitter still works as well at Agent Ultra. And of course, you can always, follow me here on Twitch. All of those follows are appreciated. And if you have your notifications set up, it'll let you know when I do these streams, which happen once a week, usually on Tuesday evenings around 10 after 8 in the evening in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. So that's that. Of course, there's lots of other cool functional programming people and declarative programming people. If you go to the link above, you'll find a link to our Discord server, and there's a channel for this stream, as well as many other cool streams as well, and you should follow those as well. That's all I got for this week, so I'll see you next week, hopefully, and take it easy until then. May your monads be free, and may your types always check. Peace.